It's Kal and Rosie's Friday feeling, and one of our best mates is in the studio with us. Always good to catch up with Tony Grande from the Bed Centre, but most importantly, make us smile. Or should we say it the other way round? It doesn't really matter because you don't work there anymore, do you?
It doesn't really matter.
You
It's
basically
sort of
work at Make a Smile.
It's difficult to know where the Bed Centre finishes and Make a Smile starts nowadays. So it's probably one. It's probably one.
How are you? Because you've just been talking about beds and bed centres. We've just been basically having a how old off am I? Like we're all getting old. I was telling you I was aching and paining. You were saying that you quite like slippers and a new dressing gown
For Christmas.
For me, Christmas, yeah. Just so I can fall asleep in my big armchair.
Watching Dirty Dancing. Maybe Dirty Dancing.
Maybe Dirty
But
Dancing.
Strictly Come Dancing.
Bit exciting, yeah. Maybe more exciting than Strictly. I don't know, yeah.
I don't know. We've just been talking about Angela Rippon, haven't we?
Unbelievable. 89 years of age.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was on that, actually, to be honest. When you said she was on, I thought she was judging.
No, she's done really, really well. And I don't know how much of a popular vote she gets, but she's, for 79 years of age.
I remember that famous skit that she was on. I think it was Morecambe and Wise, wasn't it? Or Two Ronnies, I can't remember which.
No, it was Morecambe and White. I think it was a Morecambe and White's Christmas show.
Yeah.
And didn't she come down...
Like
Did she come down the steps? She was like a showgirl, and she was showing off her legs, and I think she got voted the nicest legs on
I wouldn't
TV
argue
or
with
something.
that, Tony. I wouldn't argue with that.
Even now, she's
showing the. We were just saying how that sort of that age group are made of different stuff, aren't they? For sure,
real stuff, aren't they?
Real stuff.
Yeah.
Not like us women.
The baby boomers.
Huh?
Baby boomers.
Yes.
I don't know what we are, Tony. Are we Gen something? I'm not, you're Gen X, aren't you, Rosie? Are you Gen X?
Yeah, I'm not a millennial. What's the
you're
one
Gen
before
X.
that? Gen X.
Gen X. I
think we're at Gen A now again. I think we've come back full circle. I'm not sure what we are. We're between baby boomers and Gen X.
Yeah, what is it?
There
must be 59. I was born 59. I'm 65 next month after January. How did that ever happen?
So, ladies and gentlemen, if it's not slippers and a dressing gown for Christmas, it'll be for the birthday.
Between 65 and 79, you're Gen X. Between 46 and 64, you're a baby boomer.
We're baby boomers.
We're baby boomers.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I didn't think that's weird.
Yeah, do we get any bonus for that?
Yeah, then there's Gen Y and millennials.
And I think it's Gen A. We were saying the other day, Gen A are the first ones. The millennials are the first ones not to earn as much or more than their parents. That was the whole reason the story was about.
Right, yeah.
And then they said something about Gen A, and I'm like, really? Gen A already? It's like, remember the old car registrations when you could make sense of them in Britain?
Of them, yeah.
You can't now.
You can't now. They could be anything.
Really? You drive a Y? Oh my God. Wow. I can't believe that. I think that was an 83, actually, or 82. Anyway, there we go. Back in the day when you used to understand
when you used to understand things.
It's like fashion. It's sort of coming back round for me now. I'm seeing people wearing stuff that we used to wear in the 90s, like the old baggy jeans and the fisherman hats and Joe Bloggs kind of stuff. It's all come back round. So I think that's when you're officially old, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
When you see fashion come around again. I think flares have been around about 3 times.
Yeah, well, I can remember having a budgie jacket. I haven't seen one of them recently. So you remember Budgie on the telly? He was sort of your early day minder. He was yeah.
I thought you'd have had a Harrington.
It was black with mauve collars.
I already thought you'd have had a Harrington. I don't know.
I found myself, I went back home a couple of weeks ago, and it was my friend's little boy's christening. And I'd not seen her older kid for a while, and there was lots of people I'd not seen for not as long as I thought, because all the kids were like they were real grown up people.
You mean taller than you?
They were adults, and I just found myself. Bobby had said to me, "You're like a broken record." I just kept going, "Gosh, don't you look like your dad?" Wow, look how tall you are. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm that cliche. I'm that auntie that just literally talks about how old you look." Yeah, that's me now. So.
But the alternative is not good, so. We might as well stick with the age
That's
part.
it.
Stick with staying alive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's do that.
I'm happy with my 65th birthday. I've managed to get there. Even if it is with slippers and
it's a new rock and roll, Tony.
I love it.
65's the new 25.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm up for that. I'm up for that.
So as we were saying, Tony is from the Bed Centre in Calpe, but having started sponsoring things on Bay Radio, subsequently ended up wrapped up in the Make a Smile charity. How many years now?
It's 15 years now.
Okay.
It's 15 years now.
I always like to remind people exactly what happened, because there are always new listeners and people coming to Spain who don't know what happened.
15 years years ago, last month, someone came into the Bed Centre and said, when we sell you a bed, we take the old beds away. And someone actually came in and said, if you get 4 second-hand mattresses, would you be kind enough to donate them to a children's home up in Benissa? I said, I'll go and have a look at the children's home. And it was one of those, there was 8 kids in there at the time. And it was one of those things, I remember coming home and trying to tell Lucy, my wife, and just crying all day. I couldn't get it out of my head. We refurbished that house. We gave them all new beds. Thank you. I have a bit of influence in the Bed Centre, so just because I'm married, to the boss.
You used to work there.
They've even got a picture of me in the Bed Centre as the van driver. Underneath it says the van driver, just in case I got above my station. You know, there's a big picture for all our customers to see.
Lucy just points to the picture.
Yeah,
right, mate.
The van driver. You know, and I think they don't let me talk to the customers until such time.
Till you know you can get a mattress out of them.
Yeah, till they've actually bought a mattress, just in case I change the subject and get onto me kids. I go, oh no, he's going to start talking about them kids again. It's like...
So what you found was a home for 8 children where pretty much there was no support.
There was no support at the time. The company that was the charity, the association was looking after them was an association called EMAUS, which people that have been here more than sort of 5-6 years would remember EMAUS. I've been running for 30 years, and as the crisis hit, excuse me, in 2008, it just went from bad to worse. At the time, I've been told I'm not allowed to say too much about governments and payments to charities and what have you, but the governments can pay charities a little bit late that's looking after sort of, and they just got into so much financial trouble that in the end we went from the Benissa house to looking after Vergel, to Calpe, to Altea, up to Rails, and now, 15 years later, we have 9 homes.
How many children are we counting?
131.
Every time you come, it's more, isn't it?
131 kids we got in now, the age from 4 to 16 and a half, coming up 17. Lucky enough, we haven't got any that's coming out too soon.
That's another conversation which we'll have. But first of all, what about these children? They're not necessarily orphans, are they? It's difficult for them because they're not in the same position as other children.
It's been one of those very difficult things over the 15 years that we've worked with Make It Smile, and I've run Make It Smile, is trying to get this across to people that support and help us. Our kids are under court order. They're lifted by social services and then courts, etc., etc. And then they're put out to these homes. The group that now looks after us, as much as when EMAUS did, are guardians. So anything that they do, anything that we want to do, has to be by the book, by the courts, before the kids can do anything. So
they're protected, basically.
They're so protected. Argument, it could be overprotected. There's no stories. We're not meant to tell you where they are. There's never obviously pictures on it.
Difficult to promote as well. If you can't take pictures of the kids at least enjoying themselves for a change, it's hard for you to kind of get that message across to people and say, well, you know, we can't take pictures on, we can't show them, we can't take you there even. No. You know, it's a very difficult thing to get across.
And over the years, so many people have said, oh, you know, I want to do this and I want. We've had professionals, teachers, and what have you saying.
We had a hairdresser, doesn't it? You know, and ask you, you know, can we come and help? And then it's not something that you're able to take on.
We can do. I think where I've used the Bed Centre as well is, I suppose, having that business for so long now, people know that we are established as a business. So that's probably allowed people to think, well, what he's saying about these kids' homes must be true.
Yeah.
And people that donate and people, you know, you think it, you know, I'm not saying about charities, but some things that could be a scam or something, you know, you think...
Yeah, we certainly know it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit. And we've got the Spanish G number, which registers us as an official charity. We have the Bed Centre as its location, the G number. So everything is legit within the thing. And I think that's what's helped us to be able to use the business as well. And that's what we based Make a Smile on. It was about local people and local businesses doing something in our area. I know there's lots of needs all over the planet, but
Start
charity
within the
sort of-
community.
Yeah, something starts at home. If there's anything left over, then let's put it over. But where we are here, we can actually do something with these kids.
What can we do then?
I was going to wait for that.
Oh,
You're going to wait.
Because otherwise you're going to wrap things up all too quickly. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the children, because the tough thing here is that you're striving to keep these children going, basically. At times you've been having to feed them to keep them alive, for goodness sake. Things are a little bit better now, aren't they? Because you are getting support to feed them.
Up to 5 years ago, under EMAUS, when EMAUS collapsed as such, it was basically between us and the carers. The carers were working. I had a meeting with some of the carers yesterday, and they were actually saying if it wasn't for you guys in the community that had supported us through that time, it was what was going to happen to these kids, because it went for about 6-7 months of the carers weren't being paid. We were putting in the food, which is a disgrace, really, when you think about someone's putting in food to feed these kids. And we remembering old stories about, I can remember going to one of the homes and a cook saying, "Thank God you turned up today, because otherwise these kids weren't going to be fed." The national company that took us over 5 years ago, they've stabilised the whole thing. The carers now are being paid. The food actually goes in. The homes are stable and the group are stable. They are a big national company. And to the point where they can actually wait for their money to come from the government. They've got that sort of support and that financial backing that they can keep the thing going. But it's all still on basics.
Yeah.
Everything else is
Everything else is an extra.
Is a total extra.
All right, we'll come back and talk a little bit more, Tony, here from Make a Smile, and we'll also talk about the latest appeal, which is coming up soon. Our good friend Tony Grande is with us from the Bed Centre and the Make a Smile charity. And we were talking about the children just before, and we now know that at least the charity that is funded by the government is able to provide food on a regular basis. Perhaps, the accommodation is there. There's still a lot that's lacking, and a lot of things that you do throughout the year to basically look after these children who have no other way really of being looked after. And you've got a couple of things. The charity shop's starting to work really well. Not just starting, it has done now. It's been working very well.
Charity, I've got this fantastic couple that run the charity shop, Barbara and Dennis Carrier, and they've got an amazing team. And it's just been, touch wood, it's just been so successful. They've worked so hard at the thing. And what it's allowed is, because it's generated in a monthly income, it's allowed us to long-term plan with the kids, where before, when we were sort of fundraising, we would raise €1,000,
sort of big
spend
bursts,
€1,000, and then we're into waiting for our next fundraiser. Well, with a charity shop, it's allowed us to then say, well, we can actually take on out-of-school activities, we can take on extra education, which we Make a Smile has always been about education. It's the only answer to the problem, sort of thing, is
to help people out of the situation they're in by
so they don't come out
at
18 and go back into what they were originally taking care of.
So the charity shop, where is it?
It's down the bottom of Chilala, on the bottom roundabout. I believe it's number 2 on the corner there. There's
the main strip through
on the main
Taylor.
strip on the main avenue, right at the very bottom there, where the roundabout is. There's a shop on the corner that sells fires. And it's been there forever. We're the next shop up. Signs are out there. It's easy to see us. They're on the Facebook.
And I'm sure they take donations all the time as well.
People have been so good with backing the charity shop. And it's what, Make a Smile was never designed as in a tin rattling charity. Give me money, give me money. We've always said, which is an example for the kids, you've got to work hard for your money and then appreciate what you do get. So Make a Smile, the original idea was Make a Smile was always, what could we actually generate out of goods first, out of things that people didn't want anymore.
Yeah, because back in the day you had your own little farm and the kids were planting and growing their own stuff, which of course not allowed to do anymore.
We're not allowed to do that.
That did happen back in the day when we were trying to feed them.
That was phenomenal.
Self-sufficiency project. We had all the kids working up there. We had the handicapped kids working up there, and the mentally challenged youngsters were working up there. And they all done what they were capable of doing. And the more important, it was they were growing their own food.
Yeah.
And it was that pride that that was in them as
and
well.
selling as well.
And
'Cause
selling.
We all bought the eggs. They were
Yeah,
fantastic.
the
selling.
veggie
it was-
boxes.
the veggie boxes.
And there was naming the goats and the chickens
Well,
as well. We had a couple of chickens from
Yeah,
BayRadio,
yeah.
didn't
We
we?
did, didn't we?
Noel and Bob bought a couple of chickens.
Yeah.
and named them, and then that gave us so many eggs, and it just worked so well.
Of course, these days are gone now.
Well, it was a bit of a grey area. We didn't have a farming license. But it was just helping to support, and then you get health and safety that come in, and then they said we weren't allowed to we weren't allowed to sell the eggs and veggie bags.
Yeah.
So we did. That was a grey area. What we were doing was saying to people, we will give you this veggie
if you
bag
make a
free.
donation.
Would you make a donation? And that was legal, but to actually say it's €10 for a bag. That was
I guess,
illegal.
Yeah,
So it was,
these things come and go, don't they? In ways to sort of help the charity. Like you say, the charity shop now has established itself and is working very well. Of course, you've always had some great support from the likes of the quiz nights as well, haven't you?
fantastic. We have a couple to run our quiz nights, and
Derek and Anne, isn't it?
Derek and Anne, that's right. In fact, the next one is 6th of next month. That's going to be our Christmas.
6th of December.
Yeah, yeah.
Where are the quiz nights, Tony?
They're over in Hallon. Yeah, on the back of Hallon, and I can't think of this. What's his name at the moment? I bet they're listening to me going, "Oh, he's forgot the name."
It's Los Amigos.
Los Amigos is the bar, and it's normally on a Wednesday night, and I believe it's on the 6th, but it will be on our Facebook. If people go on and Make a Smile Facebook, it will be there.
So just to reiterate, if you're clearing out your house, getting ready for Christmas, visitors, pop all your stuff down to the Make a Smile
Clothes.
charity shop.
Yeah, clothes, bric-a-brac, anything that's good quality, but you don't want it anymore.
And the people do raise money for you throughout the year as well. All sorts of different things. There's been skydiving, I know. There's coffee mornings, all sorts of things.
Coffee morning, skydiving, like you say, the quizzes. We're lucky we get some of the big groups. The groups have been affected over the Brexit thing. A lot of the big groups now, that as was before, a lot of the English people now have gone back to the UK. So the groups have been smaller, but they still help and support us. The Rotary Club in Calpe, I've just had a phone call from them. And over the year, when they meet, when they have lunch, they've been putting part of the money for the lunch away. So they've just donated €650.
Wow.
Or we'll do next Tuesday. I've got to meet them next Tuesday. I'm seeing the heavier players tonight after I leave you guys. And they have raised €500 from their plays.
Brilliant.
So there's so many people
And the
that
bikers
support
are
them.
always there as well, aren't they, with their support too?
The bikers, I'm seeing the bikers, I believe it's on the 17th of December. And
This is why he doesn't work at the Bed Centre.
Yeah. Well, I was once a biker babe for Make a Smile.
But the guys are all turning up in a bar in Mariah, just as you get into Mariah, and they'll all be done out with their Father Christmas
Can I
outfits
just say,
and the girls.
Make a Smile is the reason why I'm on BayRadio, because Noel, I had to cover for Noel with Bob.
Is that right?
Yeah, Noel organised and went on the biker babes, and they said, "Can you sit in with Bob?"
She was a very special
Was
lady. Noel.
she certainly was.
We have a
certainly
tree
was.
up in Rails.
Oh,
Yeah, we have a tree up in Rails, and I don't know if people know this, and Noel made a special little door,
fairy doors,
a fairy door, and it's down the bottom of it's emotional. It's down the bottom of the garden there, and when the kids are really a little bit aggy or any problems, they go down by this tree.
Noel. Yeah.
And they tell their problems to the tree, and they believe that the little ones believe the fairies are in there. And they planted little flowers around. And every now and then, one of the guys up there changes the flowers. So the fairies have had, made a new garden. You know?
For those that don't know, Noel used to work at BayRadio with husband Bob, and Noel's sadly no longer with us, but was a big part of the Make a Smile charity. So the bikers will be doing their usual business this year.
Yeah, they're going to come around. They're going to turn up in their Father Christmas set. They're going to get us. We're looking for the problems with the houses is especially the big ones, the old ones, the Altair Reals. They're very cold houses. They're very old. They're old Spanish fincas, and you just can't afford to heat them. And if you did have heating in them, it
just goes through the roof.
It would just go through the roof, and and what have you. Yeah. So gym jams. We've been asked from meetings with the carers. Kids need slippers. Gym jams,
big fluffy socks,
track suits, anything that would
warm gear.
Gloves, woolly hats,
fleece
stuff, brilliant. And also, we do need underwear.
So if anyone's listening now,
essentials.
Tony, and they
essentials.
want to buy some warm things for the children, have you got drop-off points? I know we're going to do the Christmas bag appeal in a moment.
Teletech over in Moira.
Yeah.
Cortado's here, the little bar that's in there. All the English people know them, or people know. There's the charity shop, our charity shop, the Make a Smile.
In Tailladder. Mm-hmm.
In Tailladder, or the Bed Centre, or contact us at info@makeasmile.es and just say I'm in such and such a place. The van is running about all the time, so we can always meet people, pick things up, or we can tell them where their closest drop-off.
Any particular ages that you're short of stuff?
Yes, it's between 8-9 years of age and 16. We have got lists. We've had a list made up.
Okay.
I've got a lovely lady here in Javier, Kerry, that's also out with a load of friends looking for pyjamas and what have you. And I got permission to give her a list of the sizes of the kids. So any groups that are listening, or any people that we can say it's boy, girl, such and such a size. That's all the information we're allowed to give out.
Okay.
But we have got that in the office. So they can always contact us at info@makeasmile.es, pop in the Bed Centre.
Maybe if we could get the list, we could maybe chuck it on the Bay Radio Facebook page for you as well.
We could. I can have that, and it's just girl, boy, and size. And that's
so
all.
8 to 9, particularly, and age 16 are the deskerates.
Between that gap, which nothing's ever going to go to waste.
No.
If it doesn't fit one kid, it will fit another.
Yeah.
And what we try to do at Christmas is it doesn't matter how much we get in, because then we can have storage. We've just had 2 kids come in that come in with the clothes they stood up in. So now there's a panic, have you got... We buy these vouchers.
Apologies.
That wasn't me. So I just break into song there. We buy these vouchers from Carrefour.
Yeah.
And we keep them in the shop. So when we get that situation, a carer will ring us up and say, I've got a kid or 2 kids that have just come in and they're standing up in the clothes that they've got. And we've just had 2 youngsters that have come in and from Reels, and they came down and got some vouchers just to take them out and buy everything they need, sort of thing. So vouchers are always good. The Christmas appeal, what we're doing this year.
We'll come on to that in a moment.
You're going to get onto that. Go on, I'm all waffling. He's got that red button on.
He's got the panic button.
He's got the panic button.
It's the ejection seat.
Turn him off. He's going to waffle.
I'm going to play some adverts and a song, and we'll come back and talk about the Christmas appeal. Okay.
I'll still be here.
Kal Rosie's Friday feeling, catching up with Tony Grande from the Make a Smile charity. So we've been talking about how money's raised throughout the year. We understand now that at least the government charity is funded well enough to be able to provide food on a regular basis and pay the carers, which is quite important. But of course, nothing else. Then that's pretty much all you've got. And
everything else really is
nothing else.
It's extras. Yeah.
You were just talking about the things that you need for, especially the houses that can't be heated because it just doesn't pay to heat them.
It doesn't.
So they need warm clothing and warm gear. But of course, summer is a difficult time. When you have the summer holidays, we talked about that last time you were here. But of course, this is a particularly difficult part of the year for these children who have absolutely nothing. And you've got Christmas on the horizon.
Christmas is a nightmare time of year for us, really. It's a time of year, like you say, summer is always bad. You've got 131 kids in our group. What do you do with kids for 2 months? You can only take them to the beach so many times and buy them.
The amount of food kids eat as well.
Well, but Christmas is a nightmare for these kids. It's the time of year that you're in a home. You have got a family, and that's basically the problem. But all of our kids have been taken, as we said originally, from court order out of hostile backgrounds. Yeah. So it's all sort of different forms of child abuse and horrible things. But then Christmas, being in a home, we don't have this in England anymore, or even Europe. I've spoken to friends that are German now. Most kids are in private homes now, and private foster homes. They don't have this big old houses where you sort of you throw all these kids.
Yeah.
Altair's got 30 kids in it at the moment in time. And Christmas is that time, I suppose the other guys at school, the other children, it's sort of, mum's buying me this, dad's buying me that.
We're going here.
We're going here, And, you live in a home, don't you? And our kids are really embarrassed about living in homes. They they never bring their mates home.
I never forget that story, Tony, you said about the young girl that went to school and she went in some clothes that had been donated to her and she was pleased as punch, and she got to school the next day and it was a student at the same school that had donated them, and she got, oh, you're wearing my old
clothes, yeah.
And that absolutely broke my heart.
She went, she went back to the house. She wouldn't go back to school. Yeah. It's just always been that way, and it was one of the reasons why we opened the charity shop, because as was before, there was generous people donating, but the clothes would come in black bin bags. So if that went into the home, it was sort of, there's my donation in a rubbish bag.
Yeah.
And then the carers would actually say, and this is one of the reasons why Barbara and Dennis that run our charity shop come up with this idea of, let's put that buffer in between us.
Yeah.
You know, all the clothes can come into the charity shop. Still, a team of ladies sort those clothes out. So if anything that's good that can go to the homes, play clothes and things like that, will do. The rest of it will go into the charity shop, and that way we can sell that, we can buy vouchers, or we then take that money where we can actually say to kids, we're going to buy you something new. You know, we're really hard on the kids as well. You know, we don't make it easy. The kids have to work to get sort of the stars, to get what they want. Charity is a wonderful thing, but it's not the answer either.
You've always been about educating these kids to try and get them into a sort of situation where they can help themselves later.
Well, our nightmare is 18 years of age. Mm-hmm. You know, once you're 18, law states you can't be in these homes, so you're out on the street. Now, you're so protected when you're inside that home, especially because under court order. You know, you can't go far. You don't have outside contact. They're not allowed internet or Facebooks or anything.
Probably more so than kids in normal sort of stages of life. Yeah. You know, they're more protected. They're in a little bubble.
If the kids go out, if the older kids go out, they're out for an hour and they have to report back in. They're not allowed phones. There's no internet that they can use within the homes. Just basically as well, our kids, the biggest problem with our kids is that what they don't have in life is love. And that's what makes them dangerous, because it's not just the bad guy that's out there and vulnerable. It's not just the bad guy that's out there. It's our kids that are looking for that love. And love is a dangerous thing if it's turned into...
They can mistake it.
They can mistake it, exactly.
And these are the sort of problems that most of these kids have left, you know, from when they've come out of their own homes. Yeah.
And at 18, you have that massive big rejection where if you've been in that home, Soraya, a little girl that came out last year, she'd been in the home since she was 4. And 18, we said, well, we've got no more contact with you. You're out of the home. Law states you're not allowed to live here. And it was the only family that she knew. You know, she went down to Alicante. It all went desperately, desperately wrong. We were just staying off here. And we got a phone call one night. She actually ended up living back with her mother and grandmother. And we got a phone call one night saying, get me out of here. You know, and Lucy picked her up, brought her back to Altea. Again, the charity shop sponsored. We paid €400, I think it was, a month, and put her into a Spanish home with a nice Spanish family. And now she's working. Yeah. Our kids only want that chance in life, like anybody. Yeah. It's not about giving them a hand out. It's about giving them a hand up. Yeah. That's sort of the key to the thing.
What's happening this Christmas with the Make a Smile appeal? Because it's changed, hasn't it? Since because COVID, you weren't allowed to take any presents in anymore.
Good and bad. COVID, they said we're not allowed to take presents in. We're not allowed to give presents in. So we opened up an account with Amazon. And what we said to people was, you can put money onto our Amazon account, or you can put money into PayPal, which again is all contactable by Make a Smile. And we said that the kids can have €40 for their Christmas holidays. So they have Christmas, they have 2 weeks off school, and Los Reyes, Day of the Kings. Now
so 2 separate events, really, for a Spanish Christmas.
So they can have separate presents. One for Christmas Day, one for Los Reyes. Some of the older kids could maybe have a smaller present and not allowed cash. They're not allowed cash, but we can actually give them something that they want. But they could choose. We gave them the choice and said, you're up to €40 a budget. The little ones then right off to Santa. So it's a big thing for them, because it was what we got before from the community was amazing. We'd get bags and bags of stuff in and presents. Yeah. But we never gave a child of something they asked for. They always...
So they wrote to Santa for something, but it was always something else.
Something else, which they appreciated because the choice was something else or nothing. You know, that's your choice. But this way actually gave... And it's a...
So this is the positive side of the COVID thing, where people don't buy presents anymore, but if you donate.
And it worked very, very well. And then people can, you know, just donate what they can afford. So it's and it was always a way when we've got our presents in. We have the carers come down to the Bed Centre. They then choose. Gemma orders all our presents in. It all goes into separate boxes. They come down to the Bed Centre. I think it's on the 21st, 22nd of September. Pick up the presents. They all have a couple of hours with us. And it just brings that little bit of magic back to saying that we also like lots of sweeties.
So I'm going to run through for the listeners how they can help. You can visit Amazon online and search for eCheck Regalo. Enter the amount and add the email info@makeasmile.es. So head over to Amazon, buy an eCheck, and then send the details to info@makeasmile.es. You've got a PayPal account, so you can do a simple PayPal transfer. We are accepting donations via transfer or PayPal. Email info@makeasmile.es, and you'll send them all the bank details. Or buy your own gift. We're particularly looking for warm pyjamas, socks, slippers, smellies,
underwear, anything that is school relevant, school supplies, because that's obviously...
Stationery's a great one.
Stationery's brilliant. Pens, paper, the pencil cases, anything like that that's usable. The kids will get their toys, or the younger ones will get toys through the donate from
so more practical things.
We've always been about practical. Yeah, it's a present, but we've got school back in January, which is
feminine hygiene products, always a good one.
Hygiene products.
Short on
bottles of gel, shampoo.
What, you're going to say bottles of gin then, Tony?
No, yeah, that's for me. Christmas,
No wonder he's fallen asleep in his chair.
Yeah, once I've actually
you are allowed to slop in a bottle of gin for Tony.
Once I've actually done it, and if we've managed to do it, touch wood, Christmas is... I have nightmares about these kids, you know that.
Don't have nightmares. We're going to help. So smellies, bottles of gel, shampoos, because they're really expensive, aren't they? Hair products.
Well, our shampoo comes in like a 5 litre.
Okay.
It's a green big plastic bottle.
Decipher it off and okay.
You get the girls, especially the girls 14, 15 years of age, and to have a bottle of shampoo which belongs to them.
Yeah.
When you live in a house with 30 kids... We've got toothbrushes.
My mum went on a one-woman mission, didn't she? Yeah. Ended up with about 1,000.
We've got toothbrushes for the next 10 years.
So, if you're going to buy a gift, can I just run through the drop-off points? Okay, so if you want to buy something, specifically teenager stuff we're looking for, pyjamas, warm clothes, smellies, anything like that, hair gel, gift sets, drop-off points are... the Bed Centre In Calpe.
Yep.
We'll put all this on the BayRadio Facebook page for you, Tony. Amigos Make a Smile in Teolada, your charity shop. Cafe Cortados, Javier, Teletech Marira, SL Print on Dara.
Yes,
okay.
And of course, you can always go to makeasmile.es.
Yes.
You'll find all the details there. The website's been revamped. Looks brilliant, I have to say.
It looks good.
Really good indeed.
Not that I have much to do with it.
And there's the Facebook page as well. I was saying that for the people that do it. Because otherwise you get in trouble because you haven't mentioned
You haven't mentioned this, or you haven't mentioned me, or what have you.
If you've just tuned in and you've missed all of that and want to help Make a Smile, we'll put all the details on the BayRadio Facebook page. Makeasmile.es is the website. So head over there. Can contact Tony and find out more.
If you ever had a problem with any of that, Make a Smile, the Bed Centre In Calpe, it's where it's based.
Okay.
If you put the Bed Centre
In Calpe, you can go and have a look at a picture of the Van Drine of a Tony.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, this is you can always contact Gemma, Lucy at the shop and say, tell me about Make a Smile or send me some information if you ever get lost with Make a Smile itself.
All the details will be up on the BayRadio Facebook page as well. Rosie will sort that out. Tony, great to see you. You're doing a fantastic job as always.
Thank you, Tony. And make sure you have a good Christmas.
And everybody that helps, and we do hope that you get your dressing gown and your slippers.
Slippers and just a nice chill out.
I'm going to make it my mission to get you your gin, your slippers and your dressing gown.
Once Father Christmas has gone to the kids, then I'm out. That'll be fine. That'll be my Christmas present. Thank you,
Tony. Lots of love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.